It's not the wind, it's something clear. Beyond the cottage door, what lies in store? Ghostly tales and so much more. Beyond the cottage door, the unknown roars. Step inside, let the spirit soar. Candlelight flickers, the walls confide. Secrets of those who never died. Cold breath lingers, a chill in the air. Sit with us if you dare. Beyond the cottage door, what lies in store? Ghostly tales and so much more. Beyond the cottage door, the unknown roars. Step inside, let the spirit soar. Let the spirit soar.
Welcome to Beyond the Cottage Door, because the dead have stories too.
And sometimes they like to set off devices whilst giving you a jump scare.
On today's episode, we're cracking open the equipment bag. We're talking about what works, what's overpriced, and what you probably shouldn't wave around in a graveyard if you don't want to get strange looks from the living and the dead. So, in segment 1, we're going to be talking about the gear that we absolutely swear by. Items that we rush to get out of the equipment bag when we're investigating. So Jade, what's your first item?
So, the first piece of equipment that I would say is a go-to item for us would be the Empath by Sciatech. Andy Guy, you can find them online. Now, the Empath, it actually employs signature analysis of 4 unique environmental variables to determine how strong a response should be. So if we switch it on, we can show you a little bit, hopefully. So it will light up here when you first switch it on, and on the screen, it'll tell you to put it down for collaboration, keep it still.
Select mode.
Then it will give you an option to select the mode. The great thing about this is you can do how are you, tell me something about you, is there anything I should know, and closed question mode. So there's different modes that you can use on there, and then that works as if a word bank would. It will generate the words, the things that the spirit are looking for to tell you. You can ask lots of questions. Some are yes, no, some are more descriptive, but it is a really, really cool piece of equipment, and we just love it, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We love it. So obviously next for me is the Envirobell, which again is a piece of equipment that we absolutely love, and it's made by Sciatech. So this piece of equipment runs from, essentially it's 5 different pieces of equipment in one. It looks at different changes within the environment, and it will do a ring like this when a change is detected. When a different change is detected, it will also go a different colour. So it has a tilt sensor in as well, so it acts as a cat ball. So if it's touched or moved in any way, it'll set the cat ball function off. It also looks at magnetic changes, temperature changes. But I really like this piece of equipment because if it replaces some of the things you have to carry on an investigation, it's great, because obviously there's not worse than turning up with like 70 bags, which we've done before.
Plenty of times.
Yeah, but it's brilliant. And obviously it's got our logo on. It's amazing.
We absolutely love it. Another go-to piece of equipment for us is always a radio sweeper and SDs. Now, the one that we personally choose to use and we find very effective is the Paranormal. So it works through sweeping through forwards and reverse. It has 4 speed settings. We always have our own little blindfold and our Sony earphones to go with it. We love them. But this is a really, really cool radio sweeper that isn't too overpriced, we would say. It is affordable. It is really cool. But the other thing that's really great about it is it has a torch on it. And you can use it as a recording device. It has that option on it. And you can place in an SD card So it has all these different options that you can use it for, and again, stops you having to take 2 or 3 pieces out. It's all built into one. So look out for them. The Paranormal is really, really good.
And obviously, we can't not speak about this, but again, we have the Hartley Response Unit. So this is developed between ourselves as FX Paranormal and Skytech. We are currently in the process of researching our method. We have had some successful goes at it so far. We've been very heavily looking at this method for a long time now. And how it works is you go under sensory deprivation. So you wear your blindfold, like what Jade showed you. We've got a Nightmare Before Christmas one. You have some wax earplugs in your ears to reduce all sound.
Any earplugs will do.
Yeah, we prefer the wax ones because we know that they're
Yeah.
well for your ears. We also have ear defenders on top. And during the session, we ask Spirit to come forward and essentially use you like a puppet and to answer yes or no. And throughout the communication session, it's really important to use the control questions. So that can be, am I wearing a black t-shirt? Or how many fingers am I holding up?
Is it 2? It has to be closed questions.
Yeah, closed questions, and then obviously see the responses that you get. But the big thing about it is ensuring that the person that's under the method doesn't see how the buttons go down. So it's sort of they get themselves in a comfortable state, they open up to Spirit, and then the buttons are placed so you don't know which way around. And then we'll ask for the yes answer and the no answer.
Yep. And then another piece of equipment that we have just acquired, which we can't say is our favourite piece yet because we need to use it, but we do think it's pretty cool, is the Bucor. So we're going to be working with that and seeing how that works alongside the empath when we use that. And that's just something new and fun for us to try.
Yeah, again, it's an ITC device, so it works as a random generated word bank, and then it'll detect changes in motion, a few other things. It's really interesting. But yeah, the Bucor. So in this next segment, we're going to talk about what ghost gear is in our wish list. What as a team do we really, really want if money was no object? Because let's be honest, paranormal equipment can be expensive.
Yeah, it can be. So I would say my first dream piece of equipment would be a geoport. We've seen it used so many times by people, and it just looks like a really fab thing to use. As a portal, it seems clean and crisp, and we'd just like to use it for ourselves to see how it was for us. But again, a really pricey piece of equipment. But like we say, if it wasn't an issue, that would be a dream piece of equipment.
So obviously what the geoport does is it takes away all the static sound and it only pushes through the words that are heard through the radio sweep. Obviously we have our own portal that Jade and Rianne built, but it would just be really, really cool to try that style because they come in a range of different aesthetics, don't they?
Yeah, they look really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I would say another one, which I think we've all been wanting to acquire, and we just haven't so far, but hopefully in the future, is the Alice box. The reason why we'd love this is to see how it works alongside the other pieces of equipment that we've just shown you that we've got works and see what comes through. It does look interesting. We have seen people use it and relevant things come through. So we'd like to see for ourselves and see, if it does work for us and what comes through on that with our other items that we've got that are similar.
Because it's always important to get that confirmation, especially when you're investigating. So if a word has come through on a word bank, it's important to ask Spirit. So say if they say Alice is their name, ask again, is Alice your name? Can you set off another piece of equipment, or can you use that device over there and say the same word? Yep. So it'd be really interesting to have quite a few different types of ones going off at the same time. Me personally, I have absolutely fallen in love with the Rem rag dolls. I know I've got Remy the Dragon, but the rag dolls, they're beautiful. Every single one is unique. I don't think they've done one that's the same. Also, they are by GEC Paratech, and they have really good reviews. I've also been looking at the spirit chats as well. Again, that's a word bank, an ITC device. So I just think it would be really cool to see if we can match up words on these different devices made by different developers.
Yep.
One thing that, again, we would absolutely love to own is specifically one of the music boxes that Bad Cat Paranormal has.
Yes.
Because they are so cool.
They are. They're really, really cool.
And they're really well made as well. They're a weighted device. It's not like cheap material. So obviously we're going to have to message Bad Cat Paranormal and ask for the link for that one because we would love one. So guys, what paranormal equipment are you saving up towards? Because we are aware that paranormal equipment can get pricey. But what is it that you've seen? Is there any new pieces of equipment that's up and coming within the field that you think we might really like? Let us know in the comments, because obviously the field is always developing. We're always learning new things. If there's new equipment coming out, we want to be trialing it alongside you guys as well. So obviously, we have mentioned a little bit about price tags versus paranormal performance. And I think that when you're investing in a piece of equipment that you're looking at £300 for, you should be really looking at what that device does. What is it tracking? Is it environmental changes? Is it specifically looking for these small changes that make it say a word or set off? I think it's a really, really important not to just be throwing money into equipment that you haven't fully researched yourself.
No, yeah, we'd always say do your research and make sure it is the right piece of equipment for you before buying it. Obviously, you do have to try it out and work with it for a while to fully get comfortable with a piece of equipment. But like Shan said, looking into the method behind it and how it works.
I like pieces of equipment that do multiple things. I think that's why I'm so in love with the Empath and the Envirobell, because one, it's saving space in your equipment bag, so you're not having to cart loads and loads of cases. Also, it's saving pennies, because instead of buying all these pieces of equipment separately, you've got it all in one device, and I think that's really worth the investment. And there's quite a few companies out there now that are offering that affordability for, especially if you're new to the paranormal field and you've just started, investigating. You're not going to want to go drop £1,000 on your first kit. No. So I think it's really important for companies to look at prices and make sure that it's affordable. And I think that's why Skytech is so good for us, because I know there's pieces of equipment that range from affordable to a bit more pricey, but you're getting a lot for it.
Yeah. And I will mention, as far as I'm aware, he has kept his prices the same over the years. So he is really trying to make it as affordable as he can. And it is just really good pieces of equipment.
We've never had an issue at all.
No.
Never had an issue. Delivery is good. The way that they're wrapped up when they come to us, it's all positive feedback. If you know of any paranormal teams or companies that offer affordable but good quality equipment, please let us know and drop it. We're always wanting to support smaller businesses or bigger businesses in getting sales and pointing you guys to really good reputable businesses that won't just take all your money and then you just be like, how do I use this? So please drop them, let us know in the comments. So this next section, we've got a spooky story time, but it's specifically a listener story. And when I read this one, Jade, I didn't know where it were going to go at start.
No, I didn't.
I really didn't know where it were going to go, but by the end I was just a bit like, oh, I felt really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get straight into it. And they've named it The REM Pod That Talked Back. I wanted to share something that happened to me and my team about 2 years ago during one of our first big paranormal investigations. We were at an abandoned inn out in the countryside, one of those places you read about online with endless stories of spirits, strange noises, and glowing windows at night. We just invested in some new equipment, including a REM pod, and we were so excited to finally try it out. During the investigation, we set the REM pod down in the middle of a hallway and stood back. Almost immediately, it started going off. The lights were flashing, the sound was alarming, and it constantly kept going off sporadically. And it would even pause and then start up again after we asked questions. We were completely stunned. Every time we said things like, "Is there someone here? Can you touch that device again?" it would beep. We genuinely believed we were making contact with an intelligent spirit. We documented everything and told everyone about our intelligent responses. For the next year, that story became one of our go-to examples of real paranormal activity. We referenced it on talks, on social media, and even during other investigations with other teams. But here's the kicker. Almost a year later, whilst on a different investigation, doing a collab, one of the newer members that we had met casually mentioned that walkie-talkies could interfere with REM pods. We had been using walkie-talkies that night to communicate between the different floors. Out of curiosity, we tested it, and sure enough, when someone pressed the talk button on the walkie, the REM pod went off, exactly the same way. That was our jaw-dropping moment. For a whole year we'd been telling people about what we thought was intelligent spirit communication, and it turns out it was our own equipment interfering with itself. We still laugh about it now, but it also taught us a huge lesson. Always test your equipment, always research your equipment, and always consider that you may be setting off the equipment. So always look before assuming it's paranormal. So, what do you guys think to that story? Did you guys know that walkie-talkies set REM pods off? Let us know in the comments. But I feel so bad. Imagine being a team on your first investigation.
I know.
And you've set all these pieces of equipment and you've got in, a bit skeptical, but you want to prove the paranormal, and then you think you're getting this intelligent response from this piece of equipment.
And you find out it's yourself.
Not even 2 weeks later or when they've posted it.
A year later.
A year later. That would be so heartbreaking.
I know. That would be, yeah.
But obviously, that's the big importance of it, though. You have to go back and
test and retest.
Yeah, because when we first started, I'll be honest, you heard on another episode when we got the warning at Pendle Hill, when you start out in certain ways, you can be naive because there's no one. If you're a small content creator who does the paranormal, there's no one telling you, "Oh, that could set this off," or "This could set that off," or all these types of things. So you need that support. You need someone to say, "Okay, what were the circumstances in the investigation? Did you have lots of devices? Did you have your walkie-talkies? Did you have all these things that could potentially affect your equipment," if you know what I mean?
So what I would say as well is if you're new and you're just starting up and you see this episode and you're thinking, "Oh, well, that might be me," don't be afraid to get in touch and ask us. We will offer support that we can. We've all been there. We've all had to start off. So if you're a little bit confused, you need some advice or anything, please get in touch and we will reply.
So everyone, thank you again for joining our short episode of Beyond the Cottage Door. We will be back to our normal routine, giving you a bit of a longer episode next time, because we are finally doing Bark Twice for Ghosts. We're just waiting on a guest to join us on the podcast.
Yeah, so we've had to move it slightly.
But thank you for joining our equipment-based chat today. We're back in the bed because we enjoyed it so much last time.
So we will probably keep it like this from now on. where we just sit cosy and chat to you guys and keep the episodes coming.
Until next time, don't open doors that creak.
Unless there's a piece of paranormal equipment behind it that you want to try.
Let's